So we finally tried fresh bunya nuts for the first time this year. My brother's friend gave him some cones that had already split. Kind of wish I'd seen the cones in their full glory. They're massive and can weigh up to 10 kilos each. They look like supersized young pine cones. The texture outside kind of reminds me of a pineapple. And yeah, you don't want to be under a bunya pine during bunya nut season, which is around December to March, because those falling cones can be dangerous. Native to Queensland, bunya pines have bumper nut seasons every few years, and apparently seeing all those cones drop is a spectacular sight. And bunya pines are giant ancient trees whose plant family dates all the way back to the Dinosaur-Era. They're sacred to many Aboriginal groups because they can live for hundreds of years and be enjoyed by multiple generations. So I first heard about bunya nuts in a book called Dark Emu, which I borrowed from my sister, and this book is such an eye-opening read if you want to learn more about Aboriginal culture and history. Processing these nuts was a lot of work, even between mum and me. Not every segment has a nut inside, and sometimes you'll notice a bit of sap when you're pulling the segments apart. So I found a technique that was easy on our fingers. So the segments with nuts have a flat side and a rounded side. So on the rounded side, I just winged it back on both sides and the nut just easily pops out. I showed mum this technique and we were able to process all the nuts so much faster. We ended up processing around 60 bunya nuts from these cones, which was pretty good. One cone can give you 50 to 100 nuts, and you can eat these raw, boiled or roasted. We decided to boil these in salted water for 30 minutes. And even after boiling, the husk is still pretty tough to pick with our fingers. So mum used a knife to split the nuts in half, and then she used a knife to get the nuts out. I had this handy key tool that I saved from a macadamian packet I had a while ago, and I used that to extract the nuts, and that was the easiest way I found on my fingers. And if you want to see bunya pines in the wild, one of the best places to see them is in Bunya Mountains, which is just about 3-hour drive from Brisbane. Bunya Mountains is a sacred place for Aboriginal people. For thousands of years, massive gatherings were hosted here with different Aboriginal nations traveling really far during bumper bunya nut seasons to feast, trade, and hold ceremonies like marriages. It was a huge cultural celebration for them. And today, events like Bunya Dreaming in the Sunshine Coast hinterland help celebrate and share this tradition with family-friendly activities around bunya pine and its nuts. So boiled bunyanuts remind me of boiled chestnuts. They're chewy, not as sweet as chestnuts, much more savoury with a hint of pine flavour. Some people even say they taste like a potato. Anyway, I ate quite a lot of boiled bunya nuts and gave half to my brother, and with the leftover bunya nuts decided to do a very non-traditional watercress and bunya nut pesto pasta salad, and you can see that recipe in the next video. It was an experiment, but it actually turned out way better than I thought it would.